on to you, Aries. So you have the Moon, the Page of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. So for you, a lot of you Aries really have to understand that what you've got going on is a lot of you Aries really do have to understand self-love. And later on in this video, you're going to understand why, okay? The Moon is about your own shadow work and understanding what it is that you need to do in order for you to put yourself in a better position by figuring out where are some of the weak points, right? Everybody want to act like, you know, they don't have any weak points. I remember a few years ago, people used to play stupid when I talk about their tendencies that would get them caught up. Now people are talking about shadow work now. So the Moon represents, you have to understand what are your weaknesses? What is it that when you try to talk to somebody, people use the very same thing that you don't want to happen against you, and now you feel pressed having to talk to another person. The Page of Swords and the Ace of Cups represents because they're trying to get you deliberately to feel bad about who you are and where you're from. And a lot of you Aries have to stop thinking that you should feel bad about who you are and where you're from. And the reason why I'm saying that is because people are using that against you, right? So if you don't want to feel alone, people won't talk to you, right? So, I mean, it is what it is, because in the sense of it being, it is what it is, in the sense of those are some of the things that you have to work on. Because when it comes to alone, you can't force people to, you know, hang out with you. Most people are dysfunctional. Believe me. You know what I mean? I can go over some stories right now, real life situations. I'm not going to, because these are people that I actually know in my neighborhood. But some of them don't personally want to hang out. But the same person has, you know, an illness, you know what I mean? You know, a tumor in them, growing in them. And the doctors don't necessarily know. Well, no, the doctors do know it's malignant. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm talking about. You know, you Aries can think about it from a perspective of, why is it that people don't want to talk to you? And you got to understand that it's 9 chances out of 10. It's probably because those same people who play and act like they're better than you, they really do have their own stuff going on. And they're putting on a front. So you kind of have to take it with, even though it's going to be difficult sometimes, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt and be like, you don't particularly like it, but you're not necessarily going to get mad and spaz out, wild out on people too much. Because and this is something that I had to learn, I want to say, 2 years ago, somewhere around there. Because the more you think that people are deliberately not trying to talk to you, and some of them aren't, but I promise you, 10 chances out of 10, they always got some nonsense going on that's the reason why they're wilding out on you. They're wilding out on you because they don't want you to see things, how vulnerable they actually are. So what are they doing? They're looking for a scapegoat, okay? So the Ace of Cups represents, so you have to learn to be your own best friend, in the sense that you have to understand what exactly it is that you're going for, what you're looking for. And then the 8 of Pentacles and then the Lovers is just more of a confirmation of that. The 8 of Pentacles represents work. I mean, I'm ahead of myself. Work on the things that you need to essentially work on. You should understand where some of the areas that you're supposed to do better. You know, because the 8 of Pentacles represents self-building up. But then the Lovers represents self-reflection, especially in this iteration or illustration of it. So you have so upon self-reflection, right, which is the Lovers, in this particular illustration, you should also be able to, 8 of Pentacles, build yourselves up. So you have to really go deep within yourselves, Aries, and figure out What are the things that you need to do? And this is the reason why it is that I say that when you're not in a relationship, or the days that you do not talk to your potential significant other, or committed, relationship, whatever you want to call it, you should be taking the time to get better. You should be, because you should be asking yourselves, how can you be better, a better you, and how you can translate that, right, to not only make your own lifestyle better, but when people decide that they want to hang around you, how can you make another person's lifestyle better? See, oftentimes people be wilding out whenever it is that, you don't talk to them or they don't talk to you. People spaz out trying to get the attention. How come you're not talking to me? That in on itself is a problem. It means that you've got to disconnect when that happens, right? So the Ten of Swords and the Fool represents part of the problem that some of you Aries was having in the past is the Ten of Swords. You felt so lonely. You felt like even if you're in a relationship with another person, it's just you, because this person will put in no effort whatsoever. And you're right on certain cases. Some of you Aries may be wrong in the sense that you squandered certain cases that you thought, but sometimes you're right. But this is what I mean when I say that everyone should, without exception, if you're not doing it, you're not doing it correctly. Not because I'm saying that, but because it doesn't work if you don't do it. It's because I'm experienced at this. The days that you're not talking or speaking or trying to become the days that you're not speaking or associating with your significant other or your social group, you need to be doing some sort of retrospection. Everyone does, without exception. A person who cannot retrospect is cursed, because they want to play like they don't have a track record to be able to fix their mistakes. And like it is, I said before, it's kind of sad, because when you interact with your partner, I don't know about y'all, but you should want to always be better. You should want to be the same you, as far as the way people refer to you is by name, but you're becoming a better person every time, to the point where you're becoming so good to the point where it's like, how are you progressing this much in such a short period of time, right? You always do introspection work. Yeah, I do, a lot. That's why for me, it seems like I'm always changing, because yes, I'm a mutable sign, but even much more than that, mutability, right? Mutability, the essence of mutability, adaptation, the idea that I'm changing with time because I see why it's better for me to change in time. And I'm changing for real. This is not like some fake change, changing for real. And as a side effect, a lot of other people like me. You know what I mean? But I'm not necessarily doing it in particular to get people to like me. I'm seeing that I need to change because I'm seeing things, ideas, actions that I do, that I see for myself, that I need to change. And it's the same thing that you Aries need to do, right? So many people in this society want to act like they're perfect. And that's what's jamming them up, because the Fool and the Temperance represents the utilization of that awareness of what you need to work on is what is going to get you to that higher level that you Aries need to get to. You'll be way more attractive when you know when somebody's trying to run game, and when you know how to socialize. Because when you play like you perfect, I don't know if you Aries know this, but when a person plays like they're perfect, they don't know how to socialize. They're very limited when it comes to understanding how to socialize, right? How to become comfortable when it comes to socializing, because they're so worried about putting on a front. And that's a very uncomfortable position, no pun intended. to be in. But a lot of you Aries are gaining some serious knowledge about yourselves and some of the things that you need to change. And the Knight of Wands represents, and one of those things is the Four of Wands, which is about not allowing people to just straight up lie or make it seem like they're decent individuals. You got a lot of people out here who are really snakes in the grass, who are really people that you shouldn't be watching. You shouldn't be paying attention to. You should be watching, but you should be staying away from that try to make it seem like they're decent people or whatever the case may be. And who masquerade like they're kind, right? They're decent, upright individuals. And especially nowadays with social media, people are looking for virality. People are not really looking for decency like that. And a lot of you Aries are going to begin to understand why. Because Aries represents fighting for what's right. That's what Aries is supposed to do. That's where Aries and Libra share that axis, because Aries represents understanding what you should be fighting for, and then Libra represents going out and doing something about it. As well as Aries too. But Aries is much more, y'all are much more of a blinded warrior, not necessarily knowing what to do as far as where to start per se. A lot of y'all, like it, as I said before, is intelligent, but Libra is much more of the strategist, in the sense that they know what type of reaction there or cause or change they're trying to make. You understand what I'm saying? So you Aries are realizing that you can't allow people to tell you anything. Time has to tell that tale whether or not it is true. You go out here and you just believe in everything that a person says and hang on every word. It's not going to go your way. And a lot of you Aries are figuring it out, or you should be. So let's clarify the Knight of Wands. Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Swords, Judgment, Justice. Like we was talking about. So the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Swords, which you already have, the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Swords is about, and this will, your past failures has helped you get to this point where you can understand yourself better, because you wouldn't have gotten here without frustration and without without knowing that you needed to change something. And then the Judgment and the Justice are about how you make decisions needs to change. You will make better decisions, Aries, when you fix some more of your own emotional baggage, because things will stop being so personal. The more bulletproof as far as criticism you become, and the more you are fair in your own assessment towards other people and yourself, and the more knowledge you gain and the wisdom that you gain, is the more immune to unnecessary, untrue criticism you become. Meaning that when people try to gaslight you, talk about how it, or make it seem like you Aries are nothing, you'll be able to a little bit more easily laugh it off, wipe it off your shoulders, right? How am I able to get to a point where people used to come to my channel and talk all types of crap when it comes to me? Whatever it is that they do that, I just block them. And now that I said it, I'm pretty sure that some goofies are going to show up here trying to get attention, sucking you know what for it. But that's my point, right? I just block them, because at the end of the day, I'm realizing that a lot of the stuff that they talk about They will never know. They always talking about the stupidest stuff in the world, stuff that don't even make sense. Even when they say stuff that's supposed to reflect who you are, it literally doesn't even make any sense. When you sit back and you think about it and you go, is it really true? It's like, nah, that's not even really it. Because there's nuance to it, right? And like I said, they'll never be right. And the same thing when it comes to you. You know, it's just gaslighting at the end of the day. But you, Aries, have to make sure that you're not gaslighting yourselves by making it seem like you're perfect. You, Aries, have a lot to work on, like your patience. And people will use your patience or lack thereof as a means of making it seem like you trash, or, and this is something that just hit me spiritually, the Four of Wands. People will come in with their baggage, their little ones. They may have ready-made families, and they expect you to financially fit the bill for an instant family. So let's clarify the Four of Wands. All of these excessive responsibilities that you have to take on. Page of Cups, Star card, Three of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, right? Even though they're delusional as all get out, you'll have people that you are meeting right now, right? That are acting like you're supposed to fit the bill. You're supposed to pay for everything. They got little ones. They doing this. They doing that. They doing whatever. And you just supposed to stay asleep, stay stupid, stay stuck in the mud. That's how they're flipping it. But a lot of you Aries see it for what it is. You know, you are letting go of the excessive baggage that comes along with these people's dysfunction. The Three of Pentacles now, okay, and the Page of Pentacles represents because you have way more self-worth than that. And you Aries are realizing you have way more self-worth. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel.